experts here, resource persons here, and my job is to welcome them once again.
Right.
So Girish ji as well as Kishore ji, welcome to you, and welcome to everyone who is participating. As I was told yesterday by head of mechanical as well as head of NTC department, the participation is overwhelmingly well, and it has crossed 1,000 mark already. And I'm sure that the discussions, the deliberations, and the speeches from various experts would be definitely beneficial to each and everybody. In fact, I am also eager to listen to Shilari ji as well as Kishore ji. Since many days, in fact, I don't recall the last interaction, but I am also eager to listen to both of you. And as far as the theme is concerned, knowing the scenario, current scenario, everybody knows that we are just talking on uh, two topics. One is what was the pre-COVID scenario and what is going to be post-COVID. I'm sure that you must have also read a lot, all of you, is that post-COVID scenario perhaps creates many opportunities in this field on which we are, which is the theme of this workshop. So I'm sure that you must have read many articles, you must have seen many news items on televisions or websites also, is that post-COVID scenario excellent opportunities as far as the field of automation is concerned. And in fact, you must have seen COVID's operation everywhere. Maybe it is a health related, I mean, hospitals or any kind of setup, or even airports, or so many other things. So as I see, is that COVID will also growing up like anything, and so many. In fact, I'll be eager to listen to all the speakers. There's a list, a big list of speakers, and I'm sure that with their speeches, their experiences, there'll be value addition to all the participants, and we'll be also changing and thinking differently in the as far as the field of mechatronics as well as automation is concerned. And finally, as a teacher, our job is to take, learn from the experiences, learn from resource persons, as well as that wave passes to the students also. In turn, the society gets benefited. So I welcome both the guests today. I congratulate Professor Dinesh Burande as well as Professor Dr. Makaran Jha and team of both ENTC as well as mechanical department. I've seen that they are working since many days to see that this. I congratulate all of you and welcome to all the participants rather, and all the best to all of you. Thank you very much. Over to you, Doctor.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Now, may I request Mr. Kishore Shende, Chairman of IIT Pune Center, to elaborate the supportness of IIT for such FDP programs. Shende, sir,
Uh,
please.
uh, Thank you, Jadhav sir, and thanks, Markande sir, Principal, Singh School of Engineering. I am very glad to inaugurate today's function, that is FDP program in recent developments in mechatronics and automation, and is jointly organized by IET and IEEE. I welcome Mr. Girish Khilari sir, uh, Dr. S.D. Markande sir, Principal, NBN, Siagar School of Engineering, Pune, Dr. D.H. Burande, convener of the FDB program, Professor N.A. Patil sir, Professor G.P. Brahmankar sir, Professor S.M. Jadhav sir, who are the coordinator and say technical assistant for all this program. I also welcome all the participants and the experts from the academics and industries. The today's topic, I will just say that in the right days and right condition, we have to go far ahead with this topic, that is recent developments in mechatronics and automation. And it is the need of the day that this program has been jointly organized by Department of Mechanical Engineering and Electronics and Telecommunication. From see, actually, robotics and all those things are not separate things. They are say dependent on each other. And all these things, I think many topics you have covered in this national level program, FDP program. Just to mention some of the topics: robotics, automation, IoT, then Industry 4.0, then more topics. Yes, sir. The engineering trades in mechanics, mechatronics, multi robot systems, MEMS sensors, robotics for automation, and IoT with actual kits. I think so many topics you have covered. Really, I appreciate your efforts and the team who have hard work to arrange this program. Today, I will say that the reality is all these things you are doing, really we should not produce only students, but the things which are needed in these days, because we should not depend upon the countries where our students will go and they will do something. Now the time has come that we have to struggle for our survival with our equipments and our software and our hardware. I thank you very much to organize this program, Siagat School of Engineering. I thanks very much on behalf that I have been representing IT, which is the national level institute, electronics and telecommunication. Head office is at Delhi, and Pune center we have got in near Karve Road, Stop. We have got more than 1,200 members, corporate members, associate members, fellow members. I welcome all the participants, and I thank you very much for organizing this seminar. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for supporting technically from time to time and motivating all the participants. I would like to inform you that all the participants are faculty members from various engineering colleges in and outside Maharashtra. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes,
Now, may I request Mr. Girish Khilari, Chairman, IEEE Pune section, to express his views on the occasion of this FDP on emerging trends in mechatronics and automation. Sir, please.
Yeah, so good morning, everybody.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Am I audible?
Yeah, it's audible, sir. Audible.
Great, wonderful. So I see tremendous efforts gone in arranging such a national level program, faculty development program, and not only faculties and industry people from Maharashtra, but all over India. They have joined and they will be joining soon. So it is such a great honor that I got this opportunity to inaugurate this program. I must say thanks to Markande sir, and then Kishore Shende sir, and then Jadhav sir for inviting me for this inauguration function. So a little brief about me. So I actually am a chairman of IEEE Pune section this year, 2020. And also running a company in IoT, so which is coincidentally matches the topic, today's topic. So we are into industrial automation, Industry 4.0, very much the topics that we will be covering for next 7 days in this program. So need of the hour, as I must say that there's so much inquiries and requirements coming from customers to us. Very difficult to address a majority of them. So we need a lot of skilled resources and people in these areas. That is where I'm looking at such programs from where I could get some good resources to take things forward. So we are pretty busy with this Iliad Systems, as I'm the co-founder. in this. And then also in IEEE from January to June, 30th June today. So in 6 months, we have arranged more than 100 programs, majority of them on this automation, Industry 4.0, IoT, AI, ML. So all the recent trends, what we are seeing, they are covered in first 6 months, and more than yesterday only I took the review. So there are almost 101 programs conducted so far in terms of webinars, conferences, technical activities. So the FDP is also part of IEEE Pune section, some of the FDPs. So so both on both fronts, both IEEE and on my company front, I'm seeing a lot of opportunities, and there are many challenges the industry is facing, especially post-COVID, as Markandeya sir rightly mentioned, that things are now, it's a new normal going to be after the COVID. So people are looking at cost cutting, people are looking at efficiency improvements, optimization, and everywhere Industry 4.0. People though didn't customers though they don't know such fancy words like mechatronics and IoT and AI ML, but they certainly know how can you help us in optimizing cost, optimizing resources, increasing efficiencies, and how can I run my business remotely on cloud and stuff like that. So I'm what I request participants and resources who will be coming out of this FDP to talk to customers, interact with them, understand their needs, and talk in their language. Opportunities are ample. So with that, I really thanks once again to the organizers for inviting me to inaugurate. Shende sir, Jadhav sir, and then there are it's an entire big team, isn't it? So I actually yeah, Burande sir also from mechanical engineering, and Jadhav sir from ENTC. So both of them have done fabulous job setting it up. So I wish them all the luck in conducting this program and successful conduction of this program for next 6 to 7 days. And I'm always available for any help, both from my company point of view and from IEEE point of view. So another quick request before I sign off is that Markandeya sir is there, Jadhav sir and Burande sir is there. So I really would like to urge to request them to form a student branch in your college, IEEE student branch, so that we can conduct many activities, and IEEE can help in on many fronts, both students, faculties, and researchers. Among all three parties, we can conduct many good programs, and we can create opportunities. So it's a humble request to Jadhav sir and Markandeya sir to form this IEEE student branch, and then so I would love to conduct activities as soon as student branch is there. Okay, and then yeah. So with that, I wish every success for this FDP during and after. And please feel free to reach out to me if you need any interaction or any guidance, and I'm open to learn. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. I'm very glad to inform you that we have IEEE student branch in our NBN college.
Wonderful.
And yeah, and it's very active. Even we are organizing so many workshops, seminars, where the students can get benefited. Even under the guidance of Dr. Markandeya sir, we have a pool of good faculty members who really can contribute to the ideas which can come from the customer, which can come from the industry people. Henceforth, just feel free and make yourself available. We'll invite you to our campus institute. You can float some real-time problems to our faculty members who are students, and then we'll make it sure that it will happen to the level of transfer of technology.
Wonderful, wonderful. Good to know that. It's my mistake actually. Somehow somebody told me that there is no student branch in our
No, no,
institute.
no.
Nine.
I thought,
No,
yes, yes, sir.
Girish ji, I'll just add to that whatever Dr. Makran said.
right.
Yes, we are, but I take it very positively. Is that
Okay.
perhaps we have not made our presence felt on
Uh-huh.
this arena. So that's
Right,
what Makran you have to think upon. And though
right.
we are doing it, perhaps we are restricted to college domain. We need to expand a bit and see that it really does some useful things, as Mr.
Correct.
Girish Khilari already said. And I
Yes.
promise you, sir, that
Yes, yes.
definitely
So we
this
need to
from
break
here onwards.
silos, right, sir? We
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
break
yeah, yeah,
silos, and then we have to
yeah,
come
yeah,
out and then show our
yeah.
presence. You're
True,
very
true,
right,
true,
actually.
true,
Yes, yes,
true,
yes.
true.
Yes, yes.
And with a person like you
Yeah.
heading the IEEE chapter, I'm sure that the things will be getting more, driven in a right way, especially in this scenario also. Especially, I keep on telling the kind of project competitions that through
Mm,
IETE as well as IEEE Pune sections are arranged. I know that there's a need of pushing the students there to
mm.
see that they participate in a greater way, because I know that you invite to many industry people, and then students get benefited out of their constructive participation also. I'm sure that I assure you that we'll be
Mhm.
taking right steps in this direction. And both of
Wonderful.
you, Kishorji as well as Girishji, I take this opportunity to invite you to the institute whenever it is possible in the
Absolutely.
coming days to the institute also. Over to
More
you,
than
Doctor.
happy, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much.
Sure, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Just,
much, sir.
just, sir,
Yeah.
sir,
Ah,
just
ah,
for your information, sir, just
Uh-huh.
right.
for your information, there is a national level technical paper competition IET has arranged in the next,
Okay, sir.
say, next week or within before 15th of July. So you can send your technical paper students for this competition. That is in DY Patil College of Engineering. Dr. Zok sir is a
Uh,
arranging for that.
Yes,
Wonderful.
sir. Sure, sir. Yes.
Make
Thank you
sense.
very much, sir. Before we proceed to vote of thanks, I would like to thank the Vice Chairman of IIT, Dr. Yogesh Angal, sir, for being cooperative and supportive time to time. And again, I like to thank Dr. Amar Buchde, sir, who is Vice Chairman of IEEE Pune section, always supporting, helping us. And because of that only, we reached down to IEEE Pune section for the technical support. Now it's a time I request Professor Dinesh Burande, sir, to propose vote of thanks. Burande, sir, please.
Thank you, Dado sir. Good morning to all. I am
Good
Dinesh
morning. Good morning.
Borande here to propose vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank management, Sagar Technical Education Society, Pune for encouraging to conduct such type of technical events. Professor M.N. Navle sir, founder president, Dr. Sunanda Navle madam, founder secretary, Mr. Rohit Navle sir, vice president HR, Mrs. Rachna Navle Astekar, Vice President Admin, Sagar Technical Education Society. Also, I would like to thank Dr. S.D. Markande, Principal, NBN Sagar School of Engineering, Pune, for his constant motivation and guidance. I would like to thank Mr. Girish Khilari, Chairman, IEEE Pune section, for extending their technical supports and help. I would like to thank Mr. Kishore Shende, Chairman, IETE, Pune section, for extending their technical help and support. Also, I would like to thank my team and all the resource person. Without them, this was impossible. Also, I would like to thank all the head of department, teaching, non-teaching staff, registrar, Mr. Patole, training and placement coordinator, Mr. Pandey, NBN Sagar School of Engineering, Pune, for their support and cooperation. At last, I would like to thank all the participants for their interest and tremendous support response. Thank you very much, Have a nice day, good day, and enjoy online FDP for next 5 days. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Best
Thank
wishes from IT.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you.
thank you very much, sir.
Our
Yeah.
Angad sir is active participant in your faculty program, development program.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you very much. It's now to Nikhil Patil, sir, to continue the session. Thank you very much for all the dignitaries. Let's go with the first session from Mr. Ashok Kumar, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hello, Ashok Kumar sir.
Nilesh Patil sir, should I? Can
Yes.
you share the screen? Can you share the
Yes.
screen
Hello.
for?
Just a minute, sir.
Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to welcome you all for the 6 days for the 5 days faculty development program organized by Mechanical and ENTC Department of NBN Sinhagad School of Engineering, Pune. Before proceeding with the first session, I would like to introduce Engineer Ashok Kumar, who passed out MTech from IIT Mumbai in the year 1999 with a specialization in engineering and operations research. Presently, he is working as Director IT in Unia IT Consultancy Services and is a founder and CEO of Azuko Technical Institute. So today's speaker is first we will be having Ashok Kumar sir's session, MTech from IIT Powai, the premier institute, and currently is director, CEO. He was born in a small town of India in 1973 and has witnessed the growth of India. And he completed his Masters of Technology from IIT Mumbai. He was also All India topper during engineering studies. Mr. Kumar has seen almost 70% of India and worked at highly technical positions and up to senior most leadership position in the USA, UK, Europe, Middle East, and India. He has worked with people of more than 50 countries, ranging from American to Syrian, European to Mexican, Pakistani to Mongolian, and so on. Mr. Kumar also worked at United Nations and got the status of Indian diplomat during his tenure at UN. Currently, Mr. Ashok Kumar is running his own companies for IT or IoT and other engineering services. So he has already written some 2 books dedicated to my country, India, which I love most. This is how his books start, which has readership across more than 13 countries. And these are the 2 books which are significant: a simplified approach to project management based on PMBOK and simplified GD&T based on ASME. The websites you can refer are unioconsult.com and azukotech.com, azukogroup.com. So we have Mr. Ashok Kumar sir with us for the first session. I would like to call upon him to deliver his session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much for getting me the opportunity to interact with the faculties who are actually doing a great job of building the career of our future generation. The reason I am interested in this kind of activity because I believe in investing in the future generation. So when I say that I have worked across the globe, then it means that I should share the information about what I learn and then what I see that industry is going and where we are. Right now, India is at a junction where entire world looks at India to be the leader, not only from the not only from the technology perspective, but other perspective like thought leadership and you know well-being and the peacekeeping activities and all that. Now that was the situation maybe 1 year back, but in current situation where uh, Corona has hit us badly across the entire world, so the situation has changed even to the critical situation. And we, as a leader in the world, like if you see that Indians are everywhere, we are being looked upon to come up with the solution, which is not only needed in India but outside the India also. Here, I would like to, talk about three things: IoT, robotics, and artificial intelligence. What is the current industry trend and what is the future? So, Nilesh sir, I would like it to be more interactive session with the faculty members. I will have questions where I will, need input from them such that the maximum benefit is achieved. So, is my screen visible to everyone?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Screen is not visible?
No, sir. No.
No.
One second.
Click on share, share.
Yeah, I am. So
Go to three dots.
the screen and then
Yes. Just
now
now it
something
will
has
be.
come up.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
now it's visible.
Okay, so IoT, robotics, and artificial intelligence.
Yes.
When we talk about it, then we will talk from the perspective of industry. What is the current industry trend and what is the future, particularly in the post-corona situation, which is going to be the new normal as said by the dignitaries. First of all, the question to us, to the community, that what is IoT, what is robotics, and what is AI? So, and how are they connected to each other? So, IoT is nothing more than combining IT and electronics and any technology which you can combine to create a solution. Particularly, I implemented IoT in 3 projects in Dubai. I'll give you those kind of examples how it is being used. So, for example, one use case was in the education industry itself, but for the primary education.
Dear
Why
professor,
I,
I could not
yeah,
hear your voice clearly, professor. Thank you.
okay, okay. So, first one, I will start with the IoT. Why we need IoT and what do you mean by IoT? IoT is a big umbrella. So, I will share few cases where I have implemented IoT in the benefit of the business. So I will start with the example of education industry. There is one premier education uh, service provider for the primary education in Dubai where IoT was implemented. It was one of the best quality education provider who wanted to go with the technology where parents can track their children at every moment. So the first option was first requirement from the uh, school was that if my kid go out of the campus in unexpected timing, then the message should not only to the security of the school, but also to the principal of the school and also to the parent. So how it happens? Now there is a concept of geo-fencing. You must be aware about it. So you have the IoT device with the student uh, RFID tag and sensor set the server, cloud, the GSM or the internet, and instantly you notify all the cities where 90%
Sir, excuse me. Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Hello, sir. Sir, I could not able to see your screen in Telegram link. In Telegram, like Microsoft meeting is there, no, sir. I
Yeah,
could not be able to.
Hello.
Hello, sir. I can't hear you properly.
Yes,
are you
So your
able to
voice
see
is
the
not
screen?
sir.
clear.
Sir, can you hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear.
Sir, in Microsoft meeting, I
Sir,
could
Yeah.
sir,
not
you
able
are
to
not
see your
audible.
video. Hello, sir. Can you hear right?
Sir,
Yes,
Ashok
I
sir
can
is not
hear.
audible.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, are you able to hear me? This is Ashok
Uh,
here.
Yeah, my
sir,
yes, sir. It's clear.
Ah, yes, sir.
your
Okay.
Yes,
your
sir.
And
PPT is unable to
are you able to see
display.
the screen?
Yes, sir.
Uh, Ashok Kumar sir, please unmute yourself. Actually, I have mute all the participant to reduce the disturbance.
Yeah, now is it audible?
Yes, it is audible, and now disturbance will be less. Please check. Yeah,
Okay.
it is clear.
And are you able to see
Sir,
the
one, two
screen also now?
participants are visible now.
Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you,
So,
sir.
okay. Shall we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Please
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I was giving the example of IoT implementation in a education institute for the primary education where we wanted to track the student. And it is not only out of the campus and all that. We also wanted, the parents also had the requirement that when our kids are traveling in bus, at that time also I want to see my kids. Just because they are paying so much of money, they want to have all the facilities, they can interact with their students and all that. So entire setup was done with the help of the IoT concept. When I say IoT concept, then it is nothing more than the sensors, the communication devices, the electronic devices, the IoT, and the solution software part. So this is one example of IoT. I'll give yet one more example of IoT. You know, in the Dubai itself, there is a concept of labor camp where many labor comes and they stay at the camp. They are carried to from camp to the site, and then there is a malpractice. That suppose 400 laborers are working, the billing will happen for 450. So they will make the attendance, they will sneak away, and then there is a loss of the manpower. So there, the requirement was that I want to, I want to have the exact counting and the time sheet managed by the IoT solution. So we had the solution which was implemented on the running bus of the labor carrying buses. So they will do the finger scanning when the bus is running. They will do the finger scanning at the site, and if they don't complete it when they are coming back, then their time sheet will not be calculated. So ultimately the right figure started coming into the picture that okay, no, only 380 guys are coming, and then nobody is faking on the time sheet. So if any labor is there for 8 hours, the time sheet will come accordingly. If they are there for the 12 hours, then they will get paid for the overtime. If they are there only for the 4 hours, then they will be deducted for 4 hours of the payment. So this is where work efficiency, cost effectiveness, everything has started popping up. This was another IoT example. So there are so many different IoT examples which are available in the market, in the agriculture industry. People are looking out. So now the world is moving towards complete technology-driven solutions where IoT is a major driving force. Now coming to that, what is robotics? Robotics is a component of the automation. When we say automation, then it has much wider area as compared to the only robotics. The example I will give you about the robotics is Kellogg's factory, which I visited in Manchester, United Kingdom, England. There, I visited that place in the year of 2001. And I was surprised to see the kind of automation and robotics they had. The concept was that they download the corn from a truck and they upload the boxed cornflakes in the truck, and in between there is not a human intervention to perform any work. And it was all happening because of the automations, because of the robotics, because of the automated guided vehicles, because of different kinds of controls which you can do from sitting in a room, control room, and on the floor. Suppose the factory size was say 50 acres, completely on the floor. During my visit, I see only 3 to 4 guys in the white plastic covers and all that. They were quality control guys. They were just taking the samples. So no operation was done by the human beings. It is possible because of the automation, and robotics plays a bigger role over there. So this is a kind of, and surprisingly in 2001, this was the automation I saw, and they said that we are going to dismantle this facility because this is outdated. And then I thought that, okay, if this is outdated, then where are we in India? So this is where, if we think that we are going to be a world leader, then we have to, be ready with this kind of infrastructure. There is a concept called zero light factories. Anybody is aware about zero light factories? Which is very relevant in the case of corona pandemic situation. So zero light factory is that your factory will run 24/7 and there will not be any light needed in between. Means it will be completely dark facility. And it is possible only when you don't have a person to work on any activity. It is all being done by the robots and machines. They don't need to see it. They just perform based on the coordinates, activities, sequence, performance. So that is the level of automation and robotic solutions we need in the industry. That is the future. That is when I say zero light factory, that has been in the situation in the discussion for quite some time, maybe 10, 15 years. But now it has become a need of the hour when Corona has hit us. For example, Mahindra has now come up with a plan where they can run the factory with 1/3 of the workforce. Then if that is the situation, then still we a zero light facility. So this is why if I tell you that, okay, you make a car and you don't switch on the light inside the factory, but you make a world-class car, then how you will do it? That is where you have to think that, okay, what kind of automation and robotics I need. Now, third part is artificial intelligence, where it is being widely and loosely used in the industry for quite some time, but it is good that we are working on that. I was taught artificial intelligence in 1998 by Professor P.G. Avte in IIT Bombay, and he was the world 4th rank holder in the field. And when he taught us the artificial intelligence, then we realized that it is not automation, it is not a writing algorithm, it is much beyond. It is not only learning of the behavior of the data. That is machine learning, but artificial intelligence is that you create intelligence in the system where they can manage their learning also, like ourselves, like human beings. So when I say artificial intelligence, if anybody is saying that I'm working on the artificial intelligence, and you say that, okay, I am playing with 10,000 records of data, then cannot be an artificial intelligence. It's not possible. You need lots of data to learn it. As a kid, when you grow, you don't have intelligence, but as you grow, then you keep on accumulating data for years, and then you become intelligent. Similar thing is required in the industry where artificial intelligence is needed to understand that where we are going, that happens on the processing of a huge amount of data with lots of computing, and then you get the hint out of it. It is used in the medical industry to understand the risk of the heart attack from the geography perspective, from the race perspective, from the timing perspective, from the work industry perspective. So that is artificial intelligence. That is not machine learning or data analytics. So basically, we are talking all about the real needs in the industry where IoT is needed for a particular purpose. Robotics is needed for a particular purpose. Artificial intelligence is needed for a particular purpose. Now, I would like to hear from any of the participants. You can raise your hand and tell me that how are they connected to each other. Industry is one. They need these three options, these three solutions. How are they connected to each other? Can anybody try to attempt to this question? Or it is too difficult? Nilesh, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Nilesh, sir, can participant raise a question or participate in the answering anything?
So actually, I have mute all the participants so that in the end of the session we can unmute them, because right now if they unmute, then it will be a chaotic situation. We
Can
have
they
more
raise
than
their hand?
275 participants right now.
Can they raise their hand?
इसका हो गया बताओ, फार्मेसी का हो गया होगा, दीनदयाल का हो गया होगा, हमारे हो गए, केमिस्ट्री का हो गया, चार ही से ट्रांसलेशन वाला आया क्या? चार ही थे या नहीं, ये नहीं डाला है, 5 या 6 5 तो मेरे को पता कम से कम, क्योंकि जब ले आए थे ना, जब से हम आपको दे रहे थे,
Okay. Let us mute them because otherwise
Sir,
it will
you are
not be
not
possible.
audible. There is some interruption. So please check it. Thank you, sir.
और उसने मेल फॉरवर्ड नहीं की।
Hello? Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. It's
Okay.
loud and
Now, okay. Now I will proceed with this. At the end, we will open it for the discussion to make it interactive. So how are they connected?
Ashok Kumar sir,
Yes, sir.
yeah, please complete your presentation. At the end, we can take the question answer.
Okay, sir. Okay. All right.
Right.
So how are they
Please.
connected to each other? For example, if I am running a business, I'm, I wish to have an automated solution. Then, whether it can be by the IoT or there are lots of
Mr. Deepak, Mr. Deepak, put your video off. Mr. Deepak Gupta, put your video off.
हाँ सर.
हा त्यांचा आवाज मध्ये ब्रेक होतो मला वाटते.
yes, is it okay to me or we are having differences?
Hello. So please enable the chat because we are not able to write in the chat window.
Hello, Nilesh sir. Are we in a position to continue?
Yes, sir. Please continue. I have
Okay.
sorted out that problem. Please once again share your screen. That's what.
Yeah, screen is already sharing.
Okay.
Is it visible now?
Actually, it is visible to me. Pramanka
Okay.
ma'am, can you
Yes, sir,
see
it
the
is
screen?
visible. Yes, yes, visible,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Then shall we go ahead?
yes, sir. Please go
Yes,
ahead.
sir. Yes.
Okay. Now, it is like the way we learn our subjects in the segregated manner, but the solution comes in the coherent manner. Same thing happens in the industry. When we have a problem to solve, then we come to the, come to a common table and we say that how to solve it. There, it doesn't matter whether it is IoT or robotics or AI. We just need a solution. That is how it starts. And it is us, the technical solution providers, who say that, okay, I can do it, and there I will use something from the IoT, something from the robotics, and probably we need AI also, or machine learning is enough, and all that. So these are connected around a particular type of business solution. The solution which I gave you, the IoT I gave you, that did not have the robotic component in it, and the robotics example I gave you was not having any IoT component in it, and the AI example neither had an IoT. I didn't give any AI example, but it is different. Means it is like more like a data analysis and getting the information out of the data. So when we talk about the solution, then we as a solution provider, suppose you are attending this program, then one thing I want you to carry away from this example, this session, is that you have to start thinking from the application perspective. When you say application, then what is the business problem you are going to solve? What is the challenge which you are going to address? Whether you need a little bit from IoT, little bit from robotics, or a combination, or you may need even something. These are not the boundaries which will be honored by the industry. These are connected around the business problem which we are trying to. Now, let's move ahead. Okay. So again, the question is, since we cannot make it so interactive because of the system limitations, so again, the question is that why we need them? Why we need these kind of complicated solutions? And the answer is again that we are going into a situation like Corona where we cannot continue to work in the current current way of work. So I will take a few use cases here. This was for the faculties to share their thought process, but let me skip it. Uh, to share that what we are exactly doing. One second. Is my screen visible, sir? Still think application?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So two cases I already discussed. That is the education industry in the Dubai, and another is the manufacturing industry, which was for the Kellogg's. So I will now touch upon the civil industry, which is running case in India. Now, what is the case that you might have heard about the water connection in every house across the country? It's a huge mega project, lakhs of crores of budget from approved from government of India, and we are working on those projects. And there, now just imagine that just take case of the West Bengal. So in West Bengal, the setup is being done at more than 6,000 facilities where we need to do the setup for the water supply. Now, traditional water supply will have a water pump, then water storage facility, then it will have motor, it will have, a control panel with pressure sensors to see if it is working fine. These things electronic guys and mechanical guys will understand. And there is something called backwash. And after that, it is also having the water quality parameters, which varies from place to place. Some places you have a problem of the extra iron in the water. Some places you have manganese. Some places you have other impurities, which will create the bad smell in the water and all that. So depending upon the location and available water source, like available water quality, which you can bring from the boring, you have to purify it also. So it is a setup where different technologies are needed, and you cannot have the full-fledged team to work at 6,000 places, even only in one state. Otherwise, if you go for the entire India, then it will be more than 50,000, not 50,000, it will be more than 1.5 lakhs. So if you start putting the manual intervention to run your water supply, then it will be a big overhead, and your suppose 1 lakh crore is the budget, will jump to 3 lakh crore of the budget. It will fail. You will not be able to run the show. So there the requirement is that I install it once and I operate it from wherever I want. For example, if I have got the project to provide the water supply in, say, Madhya Pradesh, then in my office, no matter whether I am sitting in Pune or I am sitting in Delhi or I am sitting in anywhere in the world, I should be able to program that which machine runs at what time. Before running, if the backwash is happening or not, I should get a feed for that, okay, backwash started at this time, completed at this time. I should start. Okay, so when it started, then also I should my machine should automatically stop when the water supply either is completed or the timing is over. And after that, periodically, maybe every 1 week or 15 days, I need to check the water quality and send the report to government. Now imagine that we do in the traditional way and we do in the automated way, where suppose you made this solution from your college and you are running the show and you are able to send the report to the government in the in the remote manner. Then what kind of efficiency and cost saving you will do? This is the need of the hour. Currently, this solution does not exist, but now we are working on this solution. We will make it happen. That is the confidence we have. Now, when I talk to faculties, when I talk to students, why particularly I am investing time on this session is that I want you guys to think at this level that I give you this solution, how fast you can give me I give you this problem, how fast you can give me the solution. If I give this solution, this problem statement to any Chinese company, they will give me the solution in less than 1 month. As compared to that, if I give it to, say, NVN college, that, okay, this is the problem. How much time you will use? Where I can start. I think some disturbance is there. Yeah. So if I give this work to educational industry in the educational institute, then what kind of output I may expect? It is not so that educational institutes are not doing this kind of work. Many premier educational institutes are doing this kind of work. I passed out from IIT Mumbai, and there my guide was, consultant for Konkan Railway. He was consultant for best bus scheduling. He was, consultant for DHL scheduling. And when he shared that, okay, this is the problem of the DHL, these are the constraints. For example, one driver cannot run any vehicle for more than 8 hours. There is a spoke and hub structure, and overtime is allowed only for 2 hours. Then you have to minimize the number of trips and all that. Then it blew our mind away that how we can do it. And then the same guide he was my guide in the MTech. So he sat with me and we wrote C++ program on our computer. And I am happy to share that I did this program for the Konkan Railways, for the scheduling of trains on railway sections, and this is implemented over there. Although there were technical implementation hitch which happens in the initial phase, but now we are able to schedule the trains programmatically, and the efficiency has grown up, and the utilization of the facility has gone up by 200%. You can run double the trains now. So this is the implementation I'm talking about. Civil industry I already discussed. So as a faculty, when you teach your students, then you take up a problem, you think the application, why are you doing it? Why are you learning IoT? Why are you learning robotics? Why are you learning AI? This is what I want you to start thinking. If you think, then automatically you will say that, okay, in this water supply case, which is unsolved problem, unresolved problem as of now in India, it is high time when we have to find a solution. Today morning also I had a meeting for the same problem, that can we do it, cannot we do it? So I said that, okay, we have to do it, simple. There is no option of not doing it, because we cannot have, a fleet of people standing at 1.5 lakhs of water supply station. You cannot run here and there on motorcycle to switch it on, switch it off. That is chaotic situation. It doesn't happen that way in anywhere in the world. It cannot happen in India. So this is how I think this is the way forward, where whatever are the needs of the country and world at large, we will have to figure it out. I worked at United Nations. So United Nations, I was working in Austria in IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, where most of the things are automated. That is related to the atomic energy. You cannot even think of sending people inside the facility. They're all automated robots doing the testing. Even they came to our Bhava center. They are all supposed to have the compliance certificate from IAEA. So there it is very, very high level of the application of IoT, robotics, and AI and all that. So when you consider your education system, just think that, okay, this is engineering education, this is not basic education. In engineering, the important part is the application. This is what I would like you to start thinking. Okay. Now, when you have a problem, you got a problem, then how you can, create the industrial level solution for that? How do we actually go and do a solutioning part such that it is successful in the industry? For example, if we implemented I gave the example of school and Kellogg's. So when we implemented it, then it has to work. So I will take one example of Kellogg, where there were around 6 product line in one assembly line, where one conveyor belt will carry 6 products. And then you have to package it separately in separate pallets, on separate pallets. So there will be a barcode on every box, and it will be moving at a speed of maybe 20 kmph. And the lever functionality so you will have a scanner which will read the barcode, and it will, it will divert that box into the right channel, and it will be accumulated on a pallet, and a robot will come and do the packaging part. Now this is the problem. This is the solution which you have to make. This is the level of thinking. So it was done in 2 steps. First step, 3 product line was separated into one conveyor belt, and 3 product line was separated in another one. And then those 2 conveyors were separated further in 3 each. And then it will be, put on the pallet by robots, and the automated guided vehicle will reach to a place where another robot will come, and you must have seen that plastic packaging roll. It will come up with that roll, it will wrap it up, and another robot will come pick it up and put it into the truck. And it is having all the automated guided routes, which is imprinted on the floor in yellow strip, but it is guiding the vehicle that where to go, and it will directly go to the truck docking station. So if we have to create that kind of solution, which we have to, then how do we even design that kind of solution? How do we actually make sure that we are on the right track? We are not doing the hypothetical thing. Somebody is paying for that. And if we are not able to deliver, then there is a huge penalty. So first of all, the problem statement and the solution, that is the business area. We always start from the business perspective. We don't think about the technology at all. We, the technical guys, have a habit that we'll start thinking that, okay, where will be our sensor, where will be our, ECU, where will be our, how we will transmit the data, where will be the programming, and how the actuators will work and all that. No, that is not the right way. Then you will get motivated to change the solution based on your capabilities. So first part, when we do, then we don't even talk to the solution guys, the technology guys. We just talk to the industry experts that what is the problem, what solution is going to work for you. It is like, treating customer as the king. They say that, okay, I want a moon on the earth. I say that, okay, yeah, you will get moon on the earth, but this is the cost. I will build a moon-like structure on the earth. Then they'll say, okay, oh, that is not needed. Maybe we need something lighter. So that way it will start, shaping up that, okay, what is the problem statement? What exactly you need? So here that comes, they call it business requirement document, which is listing down what exactly you need to achieve. Then it comes to the design team that, okay, this is the requirement and this is the solution we need to create. Then they think that how I can make a solution which is not only going to work today, but it is going to work in the future also. And when more requirement comes, then you can add on more features to it. That is called extensibility. So scalability is increase the volume, and extensibility is that you increase the features. These are the two main things which you have to consider while designing. Otherwise, what will happen? Within 1 year, your solution will fail. It is so fast changing industry, and then you will be out of the game. So you have to take the projection and you have to make your design in such a way that you go so many times and you can, make it plug and play type of solution for any other technology which comes into the picture. Now the third part is the hardware and software requirement. So notice that we are talking about the technology when we have done around 30% of the work. Before that, we don't talk about it, otherwise it will change the solution. It will start modifying the solution. So like you see the concept car and the real car, that is the game it happens. Concept car is always very fancy, but the real car, when it comes, it becomes again like any other car. That's why we avoid talking the technology in the initial phase of the project, which is like around 30% of the time we'll not talk about the technology. But when we talk about the technology, then we say that, okay, what kind of hardware we need, what kind of software we need, what kind of, technology and communication, like for IT and IoT, the communication part is most important. So let us again take the example of water supply problem, which is, existing problem as of now on which we are working. So there, obviously, if we have to do the remote monitoring, then we will have the maybe cloud solution is the most optimal solution for the scalability or safety or getting the new feature or maintainability. So suppose we select AWS, Amazon Web Services. In Amazon Web Services, you have so many different options. You can hire a server. You can go for the Lambda functions where you don't need to maintain a server. So there is a concept of serverless. So ultimately, you have to go to the best solution footprint where you need to start building your solution in terms of hardware, software, and communication. When we talk about the software, then you have at least thousands of options of what kind of technology footprint you need. We are able to talk about it because our own, family business is running multiple software in companies. And we know that where people get stuck. And after working for 10, 15 years, they have to upgrade entire landscape. Why not to go for the open technology? Why not to go for the how to select a technology which will keep you extensible? For example, if you have to, if you understand that in future you will need the artificial intelligence, then you should go for Python, not Java. Java is also good. Python is also good. Both are, Java is number one, Python is number two. But then why Java if you need AI? But if you don't need AI, then why not Java? So this is a case where there is nothing right or wrong. Whatever is your need, based on that, you have to identify the right requirement. Now just imagine that I give you this problem. Suppose I ask the college that, okay, I can give this work to the college. You form a team of 10 persons, and I will pay for that also, and I need a solution in, say, 1 month. Then what are the activities you will have to do? Think about it. And can you do it? The answer should be yes. If you say that no, it is like too much and all that, then yeah, definitely there are other people who will do it, but that is not the intention of this session. No, only theoretical concept. Think application, guys. That is the way forward. So then you will have to think that, okay, if I have to do it, then what? Then you will say that, okay, sir, why not cloud? I will ask that, sir, tell me why not cloud web service? Why Amazon web service? Have you thought about it? Or why not the server on your premise? Because I'm talking about more than 1 lakh of, facilities. So what kind of latency you will be able to provide? If I want to switch on the machines from remotely in real time, I want to see the temperature of the motor in real time, then what kind of sensors and data you need? If the pressure is developing in the pipeline, then yeah, there is some sluice valve which may be going to explode. So in the real time, instead of sending some person at that particular location to switch off the machine, I want to switch off the machine remotely so that I save the damage. I control it from remotely. So how you will achieve it? So that is the thought process I want you guys to start thinking about. Now, so that is the technology part, which is third and fourth point. Now I say about the ease of use and adaptability. If you design a very complicated solution, then it is also not going to be accepted in the field. If it looks like a flight cockpit where you have so many control systems, then it is not easy to use. If it is like a technology which a general person cannot utilize, then it is going to fail. So ease of use and adaptability, which include two parts, the ergonomics and user experience. Let me talk a little bit about it from the real life case example. So when we talk about the user experience, then did anybody teach any one of you to use Facebook? I don't think so. You didn't undergo the training of the Facebook. But Microsoft Teams, I think we had to, talk a little bit. Maybe we spent even 5 minutes, but we had to spend that. That is what is unexpected. In real life, if you are going for the WhatsApp, nobody trained you to use WhatsApp. So it should be so self-intuitive. For example, there is a company which is called S-Ride, which is also my family business, where it is a ride-sharing mobile app. which is having more than 10 lakhs of the downloads on the Play Store. It was evaluated at around 200 crores of valuation, and Ola has procured 25% of the stake for 50 crores. Now, when we talk about user experience, then nobody gives the training to you how to use S-Ride mobile application. You go there, you say that, okay, where I want to go, it will take you, location, and you will just say that, okay, I want to go to Hinjewadi or any location, and then system will run in behind and they will say that, okay, these are the people who want to share their ride. And you will say that, okay, this guy is charging so much, this guy is charging so much, I want to go with this one. And probably some guy is charging more, but I'm also a lady and she is also a lady, so I will prefer to go with her. Or maybe I have been to with this guy multiple times, so I will prefer to go with them because there were some open discussions. So this kind of intelligence, which is embedded in the system, which will create a great ease of uses. And then when new feature comes, then you are not, needed to give the training. So this is what we are talking about. If I say that, okay, I will develop a solution for the water supply for the Ghar Ghar Jal Yojana of Indian government, then it should not be so complicated that you need a highly skilled people to run it. It should be, all the complications should be handled by our IoT solution. It should be very simple that, okay, this machine is current status. It is running normal. It started at yesterday, our history is available. Okay, this is having a problem, and it should also say that you should probably switch it off. And then should be a simple machine, switch it off. So system is helping you by guiding you that, okay, this is needed to be switched it off. And then there should be a threshold that even if you are not attending or if you are not understanding what to do, then systems should automatically switch it off. So when you design control panels, then these features are already available. You must be aware about it. But now you understand, you think that you have a solution which is widespread, which is not in one control panel. It has multiple functionality of, backwash and, usage of the sluice valve in case of any, water leakage and, water diversion and all that. Then how you will make it so easy to use such that even a layman can understand that he's sitting in Delhi and he's operating the pumps in Odisha. It should be easy to use, otherwise it will fail. So that is the one of the most important part which we consider, because it will either make your system usable or fail it. And then the last part, which is continuous evolution, here the AI comes into the picture. Once you have used the system for so many months or years, then you collected so much of data. Now, what is the use of that data? You feel like that, okay, I have got so much of data and so much of a space, it is capturing, that it is a headache. Like we get so much of, files in our computer system. We feel that, okay, man, this is, it is pathetic to manage these files. What to do? In this case, AI is something which is required. Yesterday, you might have heard about the banning of the Chinese app. Why we are banning it? The reason is that we don't want to share our data with them. What they will do with our data? They will get the information. Many of you may be puzzling that why WhatsApp was sold for almost $20 billion, because it has lots of intelligent information in it. I will give you one example of artificial intelligence which is used by Facebook and AI and WhatsApp, which in the election campaigning. Based on the comments we put on Facebook and WhatsApp, they sense that where the people swing is there. And then these companies experts are hired by by the political parties like Congress, BJP and all, that, okay, give me the mood swing, give me the real life picture. And then they say that, okay, here in Maharashtra, say in Pune, Sharad Pawar sir is going ahead, and this everybody is trolling Congress, but they are also doing good and all that. These are the intelligence given by the artificial intelligence, and then how to fix it. So they got a feeling and they understood that in this area we don't have a scope, so they will focus on area where they have the scope. So it is a real life situation where it is being used. Similarly, in medical industry, you cannot discard the history of the patient for so many years, maybe 20, 30 years, I don't know, maybe even more. Why that is preserved? First is for the medical treatment of the person, another is to provide a better solution. Suppose there is a wave of a particular type of epidemic like corona in a particular region, then you can have artificial intelligence where you can move your team on the right spot to take care of the people where you know that in next 10 days, this area is going to be hot spot. If this artificial intelligence solution is not there, then you will be on the mercy of the knowledge when it comes to you. And by that time, it is too late. Now you must have seen the effectiveness of the disaster management team, which happens in the case of the cyclone or tsunami or a situation like that. That has become very, very effective now. So there is a lots of data processing which happens, and based on the AI, they predict that okay, now this cyclone is coming to Maharashtra, it will hit the Alibag, and then people are moved, people are deployed in this area, people are evacuated from this area, and then you save so many lives. So much of property loss is saved. This is the use of the AI. Now, when you say that I want to learn AI, and if you are going to, learn AI, and then you are, working on 10,000 records of data, then you can understand that that is not AI. That cannot be called as AI. You think about a problem. There are lots of agencies who give the huge amount of data. Many of the data are free also. So unless until you have more than 1 million data, that is 10 lakhs of data faculties of IITs also. I'm not taking the name of that IIT, but when I was working on the AI, then I said that, okay, how many data you are having? And she said that I am having 40,000 records of data. I said, okay, forget it. You are not working on AI. And sorry to be blunt, but it is maximum thing you can call it the data analytics, not even machine learning. So data analytics is first step, and second step is machine learning, and third step is AI. So if any one of you is interested in learning AI, then be conscious about the fact that how much data you are playing with, what kind of infrastructure you are using. If you are having 1 million of data, then you cannot run in on your machine in your college. You will have to go to any cloud solution where you have huge servers. So it is a good time and effort investment which you will have to do. Then only you can create AI for the industry. Okay, so this is the way the industry works. This is the way the industry design happens. These are the considerations which are coming to the picture, and then it is validated against our checklist. That okay, if you say that this industry is scalable, this means when you say extensible, you see this point, extensible. When we say this solution is extensible, it means that we are talking about the middleware. We are talking about the interface area. Yesterday, I was talking to a Dubai client who is who is working on the financial compliance area. Dubai has not opened up its companies on the cloud. They want everything inside the Dubai in their premise. So there the need is that the compliance solution has to be hosted on premise inside the building, and it has to plug in with the other existing solutions. So extensibility. When any customer like me and you is doing a financial transaction, then it goes to the compliance solution to check if we can, approve that kind of transaction or not. So one solution is provided by Infosys, and another solution is provided by, I think, IBM and all that. Now, this discussion is that can we make our own solution? So there I have to think that how it will fit in the ecosystem of the banking system. how it will work. I cannot ask them that you change your solution. If I go and say ICICI Bank that, okay, this is my new solution and you have to change your solution to match my solution, they will not do it. And then they say that, okay, I will give you this information. Your solution will coexist in our server and you give me this output. Inside that you run whatever, I don't care, whichever language you use, whatever artificial intelligence you want to do, you do, but I need this solution. So there I will have to see that whether my solution is extensible and also if my solution is scalable. Scalable in the sense if ICICI is saying that, okay, I want to implement it in Maharashtra first, then I have to understand that it can be going across the India. So whether if they say that, okay, they like it and they go across the India, then it should not be a situation where everything will be reinvented or it will break the entire solution. It's like creating a foundation of 100-floor building, no matter whether you are going to build only 10 floors. If you make a foundation of 10 floors and if you are going to build a 100-floor building, so what you will have to do? You will have to basically break again the 10 floors and you take out the foundation and again build a foundation which will be a load of 100 floors. That we cannot do. In IoT, IT solutions or artificial intelligence solution, it is our wisdom which will make it scalable. Right now, one product we are developing in IT. These are the things which are, this we are developing for construction industry, where they can work in the corona-like situation, where I'll just give you another example, where surveying will happen with the help of the drones. So, for example, Dhruv Consultancy is our potential client. So the owner of the Dhruv Consultancy will sit in the in his office in Mumbai, and somebody will fly the drone. He will see that where the progress is, how the progress is happening, and then he will monitor instead of earlier going over there. We have run many, national level project where the same thing is done by Prime Minister Modi. He takes the drone survey by sitting in Delhi. He says that, okay, ye bridge ka idhar le jao, you show me from this side. Why this is so, it looks so, skinny to me. Is it okay? Or I want expert comment on that. Or maybe he will give his review comment and say that, okay, within 2 days or 48 hours, I need an explanation for it. So this is the new technology, guys. So on one side, you have the real stuff, and another side, you have a real challenge like Corona. How to match these two ends? We are matching it on day in, day out, and you guys have to come up to the speed. Now, I would like to open this activity, Nilesh sir, where I want to hear from attendees that what kind of problem they can think and what kind of solutions they can think after hearing to this. This is one small activity of 5 minutes I want to do. Is it possible?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Participant have to unmute yourself themselves.
Hello, sir.
Chandrika Wagle.
Hello. Sir, a chat box is not open, sir. If anything information to share it to you for participants, sir.
Okay.
Chat box is not open, sir. That is the need.
Box is connect because you all are joined through the particular link. So chat box is made only available to the team members. So if you have any questions, you can just raise your hand and we will call out the names. Like Chandrika Wagle ma'am is there and they have raised their hand. So likewise, you can just raise your hand and unmute it so that Harshad Lokhande is also there who want to ask something. So one by one, we can call out the names and then you can ask your questions or queries. Chandrika Wagle, ma'am, please unmute yourself. Lokande, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Am
sir.
I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, your
Sir,
voice
ask your
is
Uh,
question.
low.
yes. Sir, my question is that in a current situation, the COVID-19, right now we have an app of Setu, but the app is only accessible if Bluetooth is turned on and if the data has been filled by the particular person, but which is not a proper feasible solution at all time. So can we make any system that will be helpful for anyone, even though Bluetooth is not accessible, or can we uh, exploit some data which is already available in the database of some government agencies or what? So based on that, can we give some real-time alerts to the user? So that will be really helpful.
Okay. So good question. And it happens that you don't get the connectivity at all places. So when we consider this kind of situation, then we go to the GSM technology. What is
Okay.
GSM technology? That you have the mobile network at most of the places, and then you create your mobile app in such a way that it will start communicating through SMS. So it will send the SMS, it will come to the server, it will come with a particular syntax, and on the server again, once it has reached your server, you can do whatever you want. And suppose you want to loop it back to the user, then you will again send the SMS, and your mobile will say that, okay, this is the source from which this SMS has come with this message, and then you can again convert it to the action.
Okay.
This is one option. Second option is called offline mode. So
Mhm.
when you don't have the network at all the time, then your device will work as the temporary storage device for all your actions. So it is also very prevalent situation while working in the remote places. For example, when we are talking about the water supply solution, then these two features will be enabled. These two solutions will have to be there, otherwise it will not work. So your point is very valid, and these are the solutions.
Okay, sir. Thank you. One last question, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, as per your suggestion, and definitely, if I want to make my own AI system to train the data, it will really take a huge time and it need a lot of heavy infrastructure. For example, like NVIDIA's Titanium GPU or any other such kind of NVIDIA's GPU.
Right.
So, as we are from the education background, so do
Mhm.
you have any funding agency, or can we get some such a promotional hardware or something else where we can apply from the
Uh, look,
educational background, education
look at
background?
Yeah, actually, I'm more from an industry guy. So look at the cloud option. Okay, there are
Okay.
many cloud options where it is allowing you to do the processing up to a certain limit for free.
Okay.
Okay, this is the one option. You can check on the AWS.
Okay.
And apart from that, there are a few incubation centers.
Okay.
Up to my information, at least two incubation centers have been approved with a good amount of money from the government of India. And
Okay.
they have started building the infrastructure and all that. So there they can probably help you from the funding side. But I'm not the right guy to tell you about the funding. I can tell you about the options available in the industry. So AWS is one of them.
Yes, sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Nilesh,
Welcome.
sir.
Yeah. Vishal Puranik sir raised their hand. If they want, Chandrika Wagle ma'am is not online, I suppose.
Chaitali Kulkarni.
Yeah. If anybody
Chaitali
has
Kulkarni,
their
ma'am.
Yes, hello. Can you
Hello.
Yeah.
hear me?
yes, yes.
Sir, actually, I wanted to know the exact difference between M2M and IoT according to the industry perspective.
So IoT has no limitation.
Hmm?
IoT has no limitation in the sense that IoT is a concept. IoT
Okay.
is a single thing which you cannot define by any means. In the sense, I'll give you one more example, which we did in the Dubai. So I was working for a company which was having more than 35 working legal entities. But at the back, in the during the course of time, it had more than 100 companies registered, in the sense that it will have more than 100 certificate of incorporation, then power of attorney, then license renewal, and all that. So it was a big chaotic situation where you have so many different legal documents to track, and you don't know where it is because the owner cannot keep track of 100 companies. So we built a IoT solution where we will tag every document with a document indexing, with a RFID, with the sensor, and we'll keep it in the fireproof, a strong room where it will have the door will have a sensor such that when any document goes out of it and it is going out of the document repository without approval, the buzzers will start beeping and the owner will get that okay, some document is going out. This is one example. Another example is power of attorney has an expiration date. So if any power of attorney is going to expire, then obviously owner is somewhere. They cannot do the day-to-day activity of 100 companies. So then he will get the link, the message if it is in the, if the document has been submitted in the Ministry of Corporate Affairs in the Dubai government, then they should be knowing that, okay, somebody has to go and collect it back. So this is another example of IoT. Similarly, you must be aware about the agriculture industry. When you say M2M, and now you see IoT, there is no limit at all. So M2M you can consider as a sub-part of the IoT, and IoT is a bigger umbrella, much bigger umbrella. Even medical industry will come into the picture, even construction, mechanical, manufacturing, electronic, every industry comes into the picture when IoT is talked about. So I cannot give you a specific answer, but IoT is much bigger than M2M.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Manisha ma'am. Manisha ma'am, please ask your question. Hello. Hello.
Manisha Pala sir, Pal Saraf ma'am.
Hmm.
I think they are not replying. So anybody who wants to ask any questions, please raise your hand so that we can move on to the next session.
Okay, guys, I think the questions are not there. So one thing in which I am interested, I want to hear out from any one of you, maybe coordinators also or anybody. It is a group of more than 250 people. It is a huge group. Do you have anyone has any idea in your mind that which you can solve through technology? No matter sorry, any problem and any potential solution which you have in mind. Why I am asking this question? That based on any thought process you may have, I can give you the example to make it in a real life situation. So anybody has any problem statement and solution approach in mind, kindly share with me.
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah.
Can I ask the question? Please?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Please go ahead.
The nowadays the electricity bills which are there. Can we have the set-top box like device where we can, if someone doesn't pay the bill, electricity bill, we can switch off the power supply? Or is it existing in India somewhere? That type of design
Okay.
or instrumentation, like, or it can be one of the project.
Right. So as far as I am aware about Indian situation, I don't think that it exists today. As far as the switching off the electricity is concerned, it is one of the essential service which are disconnected only after a couple of intimations. That is the legal process. However, the similar situation was encountered in Dubai. So good you raised this question. I will give you a very good example. There is a company called Nakheel in Dubai, which is a government organization which is owner of more than 50% of the real estates of Dubai. You can understand how rich they are. They are owner of more than 50% of the total. And I was working for them, and they were they were installing all the facility in a new building where we imported electric meter from Germany. What was the feature of that electricity bill and electric supply solution? This is one of the great IoT solution. Good you asked this question, and good I recalled it also. So basically, nobody will even go to read the electricity bill. One person will go across around the building in a golf cart sort of thing with a device in the hand, and this device will collect all the data from all the meters, not even going near to the device. So it will have the data transfer through Bluetooth technology with some transmitters in between. So just you go around the building, it will collect all the building meter reading. You come to the Nakhil office, you dock that instrument in a particular docking station, and it will transfer all the data to the server. What server will do? It will start a program which was created by us. It will start creating the electricity bill. It will start generating the PDF, and it will start sending the PDF to the consumers by email and SMS. And they will also say that, okay, this is your outstanding. This has been outstanding for 2 months. And this is the date by which if you don't pay, the supply will be disconnected. But after having this kind of high technology solution, also they didn't allow the disconnection to happen automatically. So disconnection will happen only after going personally, maybe because of the legal procedures. But yeah, it is possible, 100% possible.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes. Mr. Patil sir, if there are no questions,
Okay. So I think there will be no more questions.
Okay. So Nilesh sir, what we will do now, I will we will go to the next session where Mr. Manjil Chaudhary, he is running his own company and this kind of thing. What I have requested is to understand that after we completed the design process, that this is how we will build the solution. I will explain that there are so many different projects which are running, but most of them or certain percentage of them fail. Why do they fail? How we can convert the design into reality to make it successful. So with this intention, I thank all of you, and let us hand it over to Manjil sir.
Thank you, sir.
okay. I would like to thank Engineer Ashok Kumar sir for delivering such a nice session on, and he elaborated about artificial intelligence, IoT, and robotics with the interactive most of our doubts. Today, we have two sessions. This first half. Very
Sir, please mute. You.
So, Manjit is a passionate IT professional with 21 plus years of experience in heading multiple programs and being instrumental in its business wins. He's the founder and CEO of CenterEdge, which is a company helping many small and medium-sized IT companies, startups in structuring and defining program management and pre-sales functions. Manjil Chaudhary sir is enabling organizations to understand the key challenges of these functions and helping to lay the foundation for future by leveraging his experiences around. He's having basically a degree in mechanical engineering and has completed his PG DITM from AIMA. He's also having PMP certification from PMI and a bid and a proposal practitioner from APMP. So Manjil Chaudhary sir has worked with Infosys, TCS, Tech Mahindra and Reliance Industries in various job positions in both IT and supply chain domain. As a pre-sales head, he has handled around 300 USD deals as per annum, predominantly in Oracle ERP packages and business intelligence tools or applications. He involved end-to-end bid management, solutioning, estimations, client presentations, and taking bottom line responsibility of the entire bid process. He has been an offshore service delivery manager and has programmed and managed engagements of around 200 plus applications in a multi-technology environment with a peak time size of around 100 plus crews, including projects and reporting. He has worked as an on-site program manager with a portfolio size of around 5 MUSD. Manjil sir is a business partner for Yonoya IT consultancy services and is responsible for overseeing and handling the programs and provide strategic insights for the growth of the company. Over to you, Manjil Chaudhary sir, for the next 1 hour session, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. This is Manoj sir, right? Okay, let me share my screen as well. Let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Yes, sir, your screen is visible now.
First of all, I'd like to thank the organizers for inviting me for this session. It is being really a privilege for me to be here with so many participants already there, and the topic itself is also very interesting. And I'll also like to thank Ashok sir for providing you with the so many details of the IoT, robotics, and all, and the AI part of it. So there are three things that I could. There are many things in Ashok's session, but three things that I could extract is like, first thing is there are a lot of solutions that he has talked about, which means there are a lot of opportunities in the market. And when there are opportunities, definitely, maybe the situation that we are now, maybe it is not that helpful for business, but down the line, in terms of the career, in terms of the growth in business and all, so those solutions will definitely help. If we are not able to implement now, maybe down the line we'll be able to do that. So that is the first thing that I could get. Second thing is he has mentioned about think application of the knowledge instead of just learning. So definitely that is one of the requirements when we implement a project. So we get a solution, we think that, how we are going to implement it, how we are going to, what are the things that is required. One of the common thing that is always we need is, application of all the knowledge that we have. It may be from as a mechanical engineer, it may be as an IT engineer, or it may be, AI, IoT expert. Whatever it might be, we need those applications of our knowledge at any point of time. And the third thing that also mentioned is about the importance of implementing the solutions. That is, what are the various ways by which implement it, what is the best practices, and what are the various things that we should consider so that all our projects are a success and there is no failure. So having that as a background, I will just go through our presentation, and we will just touch base each point.
Please mute.
Okay, thanks. So these are some project statistics. So basically what happens whenever there is a solution, you get a solution which has to be implemented. And normally what we do is we convert the solution in the form of a project. That means we implement the project. Now it has been observed, and these are some of the statistics in front of you. So most of the time it is found that many of the projects fail. And if you see the numbers, it is a bit scary. Like, only 26% of all the projects succeed. And this is across the world. And if you see the second point, the failure of IT cost in the US economy is around 50 to 150 billion annually. That means a huge number. That means our projects, whatever we are, executing, whatever the way we are doing it, has to be in a way that it never fails. It should be fail-proof. So that is something we'll have to focus on whenever we have a solution. Like Ashok has mentioned, a list of solutions, and whenever we try to implement it, we will see there are a lot of challenges that comes in. And we have to make sure that those challenges are handled in a proper manner. And how do we, implement it so that at the within budget, within our time estimate, we are able to implement it. So if you go to some other points here, just 40% of projects at IBM meet the company's 3 key goals, that is on schedule, budget, and quality. So most of the times it happens that means 60% of the projects in IBM, and this is a number that comes from the IBM site only, schedule, budget, and quality, these are not matching. That is not something that is the customer will like for it. Then around 17% of IT projects go so badly that they threaten the existence of the company itself. That's another thing that has come from McKinsey. Then like 57% of projects fail due to breakdown in communications. Yeah. Again, it has been observed that projects with higher budget or higher size fails 50% higher than the failure rate of smaller size project like 350K projects. And again, 75% of respondents lack confidence in project success because they are not very confident that, okay, we will be able to, invest this much money so that we will get a solution or we'll get a product which will solve some of our problems, right? So these are some of the project statistics, which is, something that that has happened earlier. And now we have to make sure, and that is what we are going to discuss now, is like, how do you make sure that our projects don't fail? Okay, what are the processes that we have to follow? What are the various steps or stages that are there? Which process is good for which type of project? Those things we will discuss now. Now, one of the things that we have observed is, and these are some of the reasons why a project failed. This is not an exhaustive list, but this you can consider these are the top 8 of them. One of the reason is poor communication among the stakeholders. What it means is that there are multiple people who will be involved in a project. So the communication from the lower level to the top management to the sponsor has to be in a way that it is communicated clearly and in an ambiguous manner, so that any steps that has to be taken at any level can be taken up and the communication gap is not there. Okay, we'll discuss more a bit in the later stage on this. Second one is not enough clarity in scope definition. So when a solution is formed, it basically comes from an idea or comes from a problem. Now a solution has been formed, but what all has to be given in the solution? What is the scope of the solution? If that is not properly given or clearly documented, then probably we will not be able to get the output that the solution represents. Okay, or will not get the product that we are longing for. As a result, the benefits will also be not there. Next one is the incorrect planning. So incorrect planning means whenever we are implementing something, there should be proper plan, and if it is not correctly thought of, then definitely that will fail. Incomplete testing. So we have the solution, you have the build up the product, but while testing, maybe you have not done the complete testing. Maybe you have missed out something. Maybe some of the scenarios has been missed out. As a result, the project has failed. So that is another reason. Scope creep. That means you start with a project, we had a defined scope, but over a period of time, as you go in the completion of the project, the scopes increase. And over a period, but the scope has increased, but you haven't increased the number of resources working in the project. You haven't increased the timeline. As a result, the project didn't ended up the way it should. Poor project management can another reason. Then setting an unrealistic deadline. Then not paying attention to warning signs. So most of the time it happens that the project doesn't fail all of a sudden. There will be definitely some way or the other where we will see that, okay, there is some issues, maybe some status report will show that the particular thing is in red. But if you don't take care of that part, or if you don't care of the risks that has been identified, probably it will fail in the long run. Okay, so one thing is which comes out from here is like there should be proper coordination. Otherwise, it will be very difficult the project to execute or take the project to completion. Right. This is on the lighter side. Like, I mean, if we are not doing proper coordination, proper communication, what will happen? Like this is this is a very common a cartoon, I believe. So everyone knows about it.
Yes, yes.
Right. So next, I would like to just talk about you on this is a case study. This is a recent case study, and we have just completed the project. So I just wanted to tell you about the problem statement, and then I will just talk about the project that we have done, and then we'll see what solution we gave. So this is for a large US-based cruise line. As you know, due to this COVID-19 pandemic, the most affected industry is the cruise liner business. Having said that, they cannot just stop it. There are lots and lots of money invested here. There are lots of even the company I'm talking about is having the highest fleet in the world. So around 28 cruise lines, passenger cruise lines they are having. So they just cannot stop. So they need something, some way or the other, by which even though there is a risk in the crew, passengers and all, they wanted to make sure that everything is in place in terms of the safety criteria, in terms of the compliance that has to be there, because there is a, like in airlines, right? There are security checks, there are people on boarding, there will be a check, there will be a ticket check in between the boarding and the security. So all those things has to be there. There's a check-in. So similar to that, we also have in cruise line business, it is almost similar. And the risk in cruise line is more like they go for a 7 to 10 days period for in the sea. So if something is not correct there, then it's a havoc, right? So what the customer wanted very, and I'll tell you, this is how the requirement was given to us, and then we analyzed it and came to a solution. As a cruise line director, and the director himself talked to us, he said that I want to have a contactless solution for my cruise guests and visitors and shore staffs without compromising the safety, security and compliance of the land. This is actually the one-line email that he has sent. And he also assigned some business people to us, so who will be working with us. And accordingly, we worked out the solution. Now, I will just talk in few of the terms here. Like cruise, everyone knows the people who works in the ships are called cruise. Guests are the passengers who goes for a vacation on the ship. And visitors are the people who don't travel. They get into the ship, have a look at the ships, and maybe for entertainment purpose, and they come back. And shore staffs are the people who are there in the terminal. Okay, so these are the things. These are the people who needs to be protected. So we need a solution here, which will be first of all, it's a contactless solution. It will not compromise the safety, security, and compliance of the land. That means first thing that happens in when you get into a ship or you get into a terminal of a ship port, first thing is your IDs will be checked. Second thing is like they will have to, since this is a pandemic situation, they will have to also check the temperature. Again, they will also have to check the documents, for example, passport or maybe driving license. All those things has to be checked. Those documents also needs to be scanned and kept in their records. And finally, they will check in. And then once the check-in and everything is done, they will wait at a waiting station, and then they will board the cruise. Okay, so these are the few steps that you have for a cruise liner. Now, you keep this solution here. I will just go through what are the steps we have done, and then I can come to the solution. Okay. So that was the requirement that was given to us. So first thing is, it's like it was a one-liner requirement. So what we did was we discussed about it, and these are the 5 steps process that we have applied. So first step is the initiate. In the initiate step, what we do is, the first thing we do is that identify the sponsor. Why sponsor? Because every project needs funding, and without sponsor we cannot move ahead. And also the sponsor has to have an interest in the project, so that he, even if in the course of the time, if there is an increase in the project budget, or the scope has increased, there is something or the other has happened, we need more people, more technology, then this guy will be supporting us. So that is the reason we first identify the sponsor. So in our case, the sponsor was the director himself, IT director, who said that, okay, from my department budget, I am going to give you the funding and you can start the project, which is very urgent. And it has to be completed within, I think, 2.5 months we completed. Next is the stakeholders. We identified the stakeholders. It is a group of business people who are actually accustomed with what has to be done, end-to-end cruise liner flow, because nothing should stop from a guest from entering into a terminal to get into into the boarding the cruise line. So we identify the business, we identify the IT people from our end, the developer, the database administrator. Then we had we had the instruments. So we had to talk to some fabricators, and the project documents. So we document everything here. Whatever the requirement that they have given, whether at what temperature it will be giving an alert that, okay, this guy is having higher temperature, because every country has some standards on that. Then what are the documents that has to be there, and then how we are going to understand that instead of using ID, which is a touched ID, how can you make it contactless? So there are a lot of instruments, a lot of technology that has used here. So we considered all those while taking all these specifications, requirements, and design. So we did this in our initiate stage. Once that is complete, we came to the planning stage. So this in planning, we specifically focused on nine things. First is the scope. We documented everything so that we don't miss out any part of it. Second is the schedule. Unfortunately, we were given a schedule beforehand only that it has to be completed in 2.5 months. So schedule was almost fixed that, okay, this is the timeline we'll have to complete. We had to give more resources to cater to this schedule. Then cost, then communication. So this communication is one key items, and we also saw one of the reasons why project fails is communication. So what we did here is we did a communication planning, that how this high visibility project will be reported to multiple people on a day-to-day basis. We did a reporting to all the operations manager. On a weekly basis, there's a weekly status report, and on a monthly basis, it was reported to the director that, okay, on this is how we have completed this month, and this is the next steps that we are going to do, and this is the risk, and this is the issues. So all those things has been identified. So in the communication itself, we mentioned the planning we did, then the resource planning and the stakeholders planning we did. We did the risks and the quality part of it, and the procurement, because there are a lot of procurement that has happened, and when you see the solution, you will understand what are the different things that we procured. And it didn't come in all at once, it came group by group. So we had to plan which procurement will be coming and which development work will take first, and all those sequencing we did. Next is how we executed the development part of it. Okay, so I will cover two things here: waterfall and agile methods, and I will also talk about which one you used. I will first tell you both of them, and then we'll let you know what exactly we did. So I'm just moving to the next slide. So this is basically our simple waterfall model. It's a simple software development life cycle that we did. It's like, you plan it, you then do a system analysis and requirement, then you go to the design part, and once that everything is frozen, so normally we have a sign off at every stage, and then we move to development. From development, and when this development is complete, we do integration testing and go to finally implementation or deploy it, and then we will go ahead with the maintenance and all those stuff. So here the good thing is very simple. Every phase is very distinctive. You complete each and every phase, take a sign off, everyone is clear, you move to next phase. That is how from system again you move to design and all this stuff. But the challenge here is in case there is some changes that comes in between, it is this particular waterfall model, it is very difficult to accommodate. Okay. And again, in the development side also, and another point is like you can give or you can show something only after this testing is complete. That means on after 5th phase, you will be able to tell the customer that okay, this has been done, this is complete. And if at that point after customer comes back and says no, what we expected is not this one, it is something different. So that will be a huge change that will happen, across these phases. And so there is another option that we also always follow in nowadays, in that is the agile one. So this is the waterfall model, and next one is the agile model, where what we do is we do it in an iterative process. That means we define something called backlog. Backlogs are nothing, it's taken from the requirements only. We prepare a list of backlogs, and from the backlogs we define that something called sprints. So normally sprints are 2 weeks to 4 weeks duration. So what we do, we say that okay, in sprint 1, and we just depending on the size of the project, we said okay, there will be 10 sprints. So 10 sprints mean 10 into 2, 20 weeks of work. So in sprint 1, we'll take, these are the requirements that we'll take from the backlog. We'll work on it, we'll develop the product, we'll test the product, and we'll demo it to the client. Okay, so that means the entire thing is completed. Maybe we will take small chunks, maybe only four functionalities we'll pick up depending on the size of the functionality, and we'll complete the entire thing in 2 weeks. And so if you start it from Monday, next week Friday we will demo that to the customer. So customer will know that okay, this something has been done, and he's also be happy to see that okay, the project is progressing. And accordingly, whatever, and in that demo, if they find that okay, the business said no, whatever you have done is okay, but we need some changes to be added, we can add those changes in the next sprint. So our issue that we had in our waterfall model, that gets handled in our agile model. So agile can take care of the running changes. It can take care of, it can give an impression, or it can give a working model to the client, and at the same time that is a progress of the project as well. So we did this. We made sure that every Friday there is a demo, and we maintained the sprints like we had on an around 10 sprints in this case, and in that 10 sprints we completed the entire project. And in Scrum there are specific some roles. Basically there is a product owner who is basically the business, who understand end-to-end of the functionalities of the product. There are team members. Team members are basically the people who are actually working on the development of the project. So there'll be the developers, testers, DBAs and all. Then there is a Scrum Master. Scrum Master is basically you'll be maintaining this team and making sure that all the Scrum processes are followed. And there'll be definitely the stakeholders who are subject matter expert, and then there'll be users also. So these are various roles that we have. And these are the sprint backlog that we have. That is basically the requirements that we are assigning to a sprint. Then from a product backlog, it goes to a sprint backlog, and then we execute the sprint. And then these are various charts which will show you how we are performing, the sprint burn and the product burn up charts. And we also maintain the risk and issues as a separate item here. But in our project that I mentioned, that cruise line project, we did a hybrid of both waterfall and agile, so that we get to understand both together. So what we did was we did something similar to this. So we did the planning based on the requirement that was given, and system analysis and requirement and design. We did this first instead of completing any of the work, and we complete this almost in a 2 weeks time. And then from the design, we picked up all the the product backlogs and the requirements, and we executed that in agile mode. Okay. And once all the sprints are completed, we integrated them and did an implementation, one implementation for the entire user acceptance test. So we showed them the demos every week, every sprint, and then we completed in the implementation at a when everything was complete. So these are the ways by which we did the execution. Now, coming back to this again, so we have done the initiation, we have done the planning, we have done the execution. So the product is ready now. Now, one thing that always runs across is the monitor and controlling. Basically, this is end-to-end tracking of all the projects. What are the various parameters that we want to measure? We define it in monitor and control, and all the reportings and everything is done based on this. So this is how it looks like. It's a typical report. This is not a standard or anything. This is something that we agree with the customer and we give a. These are the parameters that we decide, and then we report this on a week basis, or depending on the whom we are reporting, it can be on a monthly basis as well. So the frequency is discussed on that. Now, what I want to show you is the solution that we have given to the customer. So these were the customer requirements. They wanted a contactless entry into the terminal for the cruise, for the guest and the cruise, contactless ID and document checks, contactless temperature check, contactless check-in, and contactless boarding. These are the 5 different things that they asked for. So what we did was, for contactless entry into the terminal, we did facial recognition. Now, how we did the facial recognition? We used Samsung tabs, and we have developed our own product on that. And this facial recognition was used as a contactless entry for the terminal. So you go in front of that tab, which is placed on a pole. Your photo will be there in the database, because prior to this entry, you have already purchased a ticket and you have already sent your photos to the cruise line. So they will keep that in the database. It will compare this facial recognition, contactless entry, facial recognition for that photo, and you are able to have an entry if it is a match. If it is no match, you will not have an entry. And for some reason, if the photo is not okay, or it is you are genuine person but your photo is not matching, then you'll have to have a side route by which we can get an entry. So that is something you'll have to record, and then an agent will help you out. Next one was contactless ID document checks. For this, again, we used a camera-based scanner. So the person will come in front of the camera, do the scanning for the IDs, and accordingly, those documents will get saved for the particular facial ID. Contactless temperature check. So for this, we use a thermal camera, where as soon as you come in front of it, they will again use this facial recognition to first identify your face. As soon as your face is identified, the infrared camera, the thermal camera will start detecting it, the temperature. Once the temperature is detected, if it is normal, it will allow you in. If it is not normal, it will give an alert, and will come a message will share that okay, there's a temperature is high. You have to talk to some agent or some doctor or whatever. Next one is a contactless check-in. So there is a check-in mobile app, simple mobile app, where you go there and just do the check-in and this will be again done by agent. The guest need not touch anything. So again, this is contactless. And finally, contactless boarding. So here we use the facial recognition. Again, the temperature is checked here. So thermal camera is used, and boarding app is there where you board, and the system will mark you onboarded on cruise line. Okay, so this is the complete solution mapping that we did, and it is being used, and as we speak, it is actually being implemented. So this cruise liner probably will start in next 2 or 3 months that they'll be using. So once everything is done, we move to project closer. This project closer is also very important because we document everything, we put everything in place, and we make sure that all the project deliverables and submissions are completed. If there are any licenses that you have taken, we will cancel those licenses, or close the lease that is there. Then we will draft the lessons learned over the period of time, and we will document it, and we'll do a final review and close the project. Okay. So this is how we actually conduct and how we convert a solution to a product, or we convert the design to reality. Okay. So these are the steps that we have. So any questions I can take now?
Okay. Participants, please, those who want to ask any questions, raise your hand so that we can call out their names.
Hello.
Yeah.
Ruchupal this side.
Yeah, Ritu.
Sir, is this possible in our industry also, as you are just telling us your this project about this project, like when somebody visited or visitors are coming to our
Yes.
company,
Right.
है ना? So
Right.
outsiders are coming, so we
Correct.
can keep is this a type of application or what? They will scan their document or visiting ID card at the gate, only then they will be entered, just for security purpose. Can we
Correct.
have this these things there also?
Yeah, we can. We can. This is generic. This is not. I have given the example of cruise line, but this is a generic app. So there are a lot of. So basically, what happens is you need a mobile app who will actually
Okay.
detect this, and there is some another app which will actually detect your say barcode or ID, whatever. Right.
Okay.
All
Okay.
these things is a combination, and we give that as a package. So that can be
Okay.
done for a visitor management also. Like you want like something like a visitor management, right?
Like sometimes visitors are coming for audit purpose, for any other reason outsiders are coming to the industry, so
Okay.
for that
That
in
can be
that
used.
case
Yes,
that can be
that can be
used,
used.
no?
But the thing is, what is the volume? I mean, is it like because this will incur some cost, so that's why I'm asking what
Okay.
is the volume? Is it like 4 or 5 people, or is it like lot many? Then accordingly we can decide on that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. I'm able to hear.
Sir. Sir. Can I speak, sir?
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Yes, yes, please. So your voice is audible. Please ask your question.
Hello.
Hello, Nilesh sir. Can I ask question?
Yes, yes, sir. Lokande sir, please go ahead.
Yes. Actually, my question is that does really prototypes are helpful for making a final product with application point of view?
Yeah, it is. So basically, depending on the type of the product that you are developing, if it is a small product, then probably prototype will not help, because prototype itself will, it will take some time and effort, and ultimately it will not helpful in the long run. But if it is a bigger project, definitely you need a prototype, and prototype will actually finalize our concept that we have thought of, because when we actually start developing, we get the challenges of what is the actual issue.
Okay.
So prototype definitely helps, and most of the cases we do that only. We do a small prototype, maybe with lesser feature, lesser functionality, or lesser say the UI may be very simple, instead of investing a lot of time on UI. So those things we do, and then finally we go for the main if this is approved.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Anybody from the participant?
Hello.
Yeah.
This is Dr. Paul Pondian from Bangalore, Christ University.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is not a doubt or clarification, it is an appreciation. So your entire session really it was very informative and it is really a good session. So thanks for
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
coming and
Thank you,
sharing
sir.
your knowledge and expertise, sir. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure.
Let's sir, please quick have a look on the anybody who is asking question. He or she is
Yeah,
asking
no,
question.
yeah, I'm just checking.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Again, this is Dr. Pondian. If you could share your email ID, we can connect with you in due course of time, sir, for some case studies or small projects in our university. Could you kindly share your email ID, Professor, please?
Yeah, sure. I can. I think Makarand sir already has my email ID. So
Okay.
you
With your permission, we will share the same content with the participants.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
At the end of this particular morning session, I would like to thank Engineer Manjil Chowdhury sir for giving us insight on the project implementation methodologies, that is agile and this particular hybrid way of execution of the project. Both the sessions were quite interesting for the faculties, especially those who don't have much exposure in this particular field. I would like to say that the morning session is right now over, and we'll be again meeting at around 2 o'clock. And before that, I would also request all the participants to fill the feedback link which is already shared to them. Okay, and in order to further enabling us for the formalities to be completed. So I request all the participants to join again at around 1:50, 1:55 p.m. and have their lunch at this point in time. Thank you very much, Manjil sir, for sparing your time with us.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for calling me here. Okay. It was a pleasure talking to all of you.
Sir,
Well,
in which platform you have shared your feedback from, sir? Is it in our email ID or in our Telegram group?
Telegram
Telegram
group.
group.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Thanks.
I'll close.
Yeah.
I'll close
Close
the
the meeting.
meeting. Yeah.
Close the
Thank
meeting.
Hello, Nilesh sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I'm not able to join Telegram group, sir.